We sell donuts. And donuts. We sell donuts.
Hey everybody, welcome to Blood and Donuts. I am Tony.
And I'm Chris. What's up, everybody? Thanks for joining.
Thanks for joining, guys. Valentine, a 2001 slasher film directed by Jamie Blanks. Jamie Blanks directed Urban Legend. You remember that old movie? That old chestnut. Yeah. Loosely based on the novel of the same title by Tom Savage, the film follows a group of women in San Francisco who are stalked by a killer wearing a Cupid mask in the days leading up to Valentine's Day.
What?
Chris, well, that's
man,
that's a plot right there, right?
It really is, and not one that you can unravel within the first 30 minutes. It's a totally whodunit all the way through.
This thing will have you sitting on the edge of your seat, just like, what? Oh my God, what's next?
Before you realize like you're about to fall off, and you scoot back and sit normally.
Oh man, this has a cast of characters. You got Denise Richards,
big names.
You got Denise Richards, who was the wife of Charlie Sheen.
Oh, okay, sure.
She was married to Charlie Sheen, and she was notorious for Wild Things. Do you remember Wild Things? Yeah. Never mind.
Yeah,
I'm not going to go into that. But so you got David Boreanaz, Marley Shelton.
Is that how you say that?
That's what it said on the internet.
Boreanaz.
Boreanaz. He was a heartthrob, man. He was in like
like in Bones, also in Angel.
Yeah, Angel. That's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Stuff that we would have never ever watched. But he was like he was a 2001 heartthrob, so they like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Marley Shelton, Jessica Capshaw, Katherine Heigl's in this.
Mm-hmm.
Knocked up.
Briefly.
Knocked up. She's in there for a minute. Scream where what's her face gets killed, right?
Drew Barrymore.
Drew Barrymore. Yeah, you're like, "Oh man, this is starring Drew Barrymore. This is going to be great." And then they kill her off like in the first 5 minutes of the movie. Yeah. This is 90s horror was notoriously awful, Chris. This is 2001, but it's coming off that cusp of we grew up in this era, and to me it was like it's got to be the worst, right?
Yeah, I mean, this is one that if we rented it during our heyday of renting older horror movies and watching it, we would have just probably not even finished it.
Yeah.
If I had to get, I mean, we wanted to see more like B horror, like in the 80s, late 70s stuff, just really cheesy junk.
Yeah.
We loved it. And if we picked this up, we'd have been like, oh man, really? This is awful.
This is cheesy junk, but it's different. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, it's like
modern
cheesy.
It's like
junk.
a rom-com or something like that. I don't know. When we went to the rental store, we would pick up Evil Dead. We'd pick up
flesh-eating mothers.
Yes, Gator Bait 2, Vampire Hookers, good stuff, good classics, cheese.
Mm-hmm.
But we would pass up Urban Legends. We would pass up I Know What You Did Last Summer. We would pass up Valentine. These movies are like it's like Scream came out in 96 and they're like, let's make a Scream, and they're like, let's get a bunch of beautiful girls together, and it's like a romantic comedy. I know it's Valentine's Day or whatever, but
but let's do it around the Valentine's theme. And I mean, we're coming off the heels of a very funny horror movie and Totally Killer, right?
Yeah.
And I'm watching these like they're trying to be funny, and I'm just like, this is horrible. It is nowhere near anything comedic in our eyes.
Yeah.
Like I don't know who's watching this in 2001 and just like slapping their knees. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's not funny.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. I'm like, maybe if you went to the movie theater and it was Valentine's Day and you watched this, and maybe this is like a guilty pleasure for you. I don't know. Maybe you're just a huge Denise Richards fan. You know, maybe you think Katherine Heigl's performance in the first 6 minutes of this film was just so groundbreaking.
When she's a kid.
Yeah. I mean, the slasher guy wasn't that bad.
Sure.
Yeah, and some of the kills were. I'm going to talk about that on my pros. There's a few cool kills here.
I'm too. Yeah.
Yeah, but
we're usually aligned pretty close on these things, but yeah. All-star cast, really. I mean, like you said, Denise Richards, David Boreanaz, Jessica Capshaw, like a bunch of good names.
Yeah.
But man, and their acting wasn't terrible, but I think it was more of the plot and the
dialogue written
story.
for him.
Yeah,
the dialogue that was written for him was just awful.
You were big boned. You were plump. I was fat.
Yeah, like you think they'd be like looking up at the director, like, "Hey, man, for real though,
can you write me
change up like all of this?
Can you write me something a little bit better than this?"
Staying here for a few days.
Is he the reason you've been spending all your time on the treadmill?
Now, if I recall, Urban Legends, which Jamie Blanks also directed, probably better than this. I would have to go back and watch it. Was it a lot of the same?
It's been a hot minute since I've seen that one.
If we ever get a lull of like where there's not a lot of new releases coming out, you know what I mean? We need to revisit Urban Legend. But
yeah, if we've done all the Saw movies, all the Halloweens,
there's so much to do. Oh my God, there's so much to do. So much to do. And then we need to revisit. We need to revisit 13 Ghosts. One of your childhood favorites, right?
Yeah, we got some comments. Appreciate the feedback. Everybody's leaving us movies, so we're adding them to the queue. So.
I love that. Yeah. So again, let me go back to I feel like the 90s one. I feel like The Ring in 2002. You know that Japanese horror craze? I guess The Ring, The Grudge. I think that changed. Like in 1998, again, you had the Blair Witch Project. There's some little glimmers of hope throughout there. 96, you had Scream. Scream is not bad. Scream was a new thing. And I mean, there's a huge franchise of Scream. And I remember when I watched Scream the first time, it was scary. It was legit. That phone call and all that stuff.
Yeah, I feel like Scream really modernized like your Michael Myers and your Jason, like your masked super, evil entity.
Yeah.
Really brought it into the modern age with, calling on the cell phone, I'm in your house, and then it turns out to be who it was and stuff. I mean, I thought those was really good. And this movie is like 5 or 6 years after that.
Yeah.
And it's like it's just like the dregs of slashers.
Yeah, like
or
what?
Something
like
is.
It's almost like just a bad 80s slasher for the 90s. I keep saying the 90s. It's 2001. It's still the 90s. Whatever. So they filmed it in 2000, I'm sure. $10 million budget. There was a lot of talk about restoring the trimmed kills and releasing a director's cut, but unfortunately, that was just the fans. Warner Brothers has not shown any interest in releasing an extended cut for Valentine. I wonder why.
Can't imagine why.
These are all facts I got from IMBD. The stunt double for Denise Richards received multiple cuts during the scene where she was thrown into the hot tub from the jet nozzles. During the original casting process, they had Tara Reid, who previously appeared in Jamie Blank's other film, Urban Legend. They also had Jennifer Love Hewitt, who was going to play Paige Prescott, but I guess those casting fell through. In one scene, Kate tells Dorothy that her boyfriend Adam Carr is no angel. This is, of course, referring to Boreanaz's hit TV series Angel from 1999.
Nice. So David Boreanaz is also he filmed his entire character in less than 2 weeks. I saw that. And then also for the male character who plays Adam, they brought in like Luke Wilson, Jared Leto, and Jeremy Sisto, but ultimately gave it to David. So
yeah, they didn't make the cut, huh? They couldn't hack it on Valentine.
Couldn't hack it. They couldn't deliver the jokes as good as these guys.
Valentine, man.
I'll roll into my pros and cons here.
Yeah,
if you're
please
good
do.
With it.
Yeah, please do. I'm excited to hear your pros.
There's a couple. And the killer not using the same kills twice. That was nice.
Okay.
You never just, Michael Myers, you just get a knife every time. I do enjoy the variety of kills.
You like a creative
that there were.
Creative serial killer. Yeah, I can appreciate that.
And the music was good. Okay, on to the cons. The plot was boring. The actors were very just meh, just mid.
Yeah.
And the plot could have been much better. I'm going to pitch to you a different ending.
Oh.
In the end here, at the end of our spoilers, and see if you like it better. I think it'd be a better take, maybe some better writing.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to give this a generous 4 out of 13 donuts. And the only reason it's not a 3 is, like I said, because the kills were actually fun and there was a glimpse of nudity, which is automatic donut. So 4 out of 13 generous donuts from Chris.
Where was there a glimpse of nudity?
In the art show, man, where the guy was like trying to land a threesome.
Oh.
The creepy art dealer guy.
It was on the wall.
It was up on the screens. Yeah.
I got you.
Very brief, but
it
counted.
Okay. Pros. I like the cherub Cupid mask. I thought that was pretty cool. I think with a better storyline and dialogue and more fleshed out, likable characters, this could be a much better movie. I like the beginning. I like the kid who was bullied and he grew up to get his revenge and he was shipped off to reform school and he got worse from there. I kind of like that. I like the sharp glass kill. I like the arrow kill. I guess I'm kind of like you. I like the variety of kills because I have that down. I like the hot tub kill. I thought that was good too. And then I like the morgue scene, not the beginning of the morgue scene where there's this. We'll talk about it when we get there. But I do like him going around stabbing the bags. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
All right, cons. This movie was hard to watch. It's very cringy. I don't like the characters. They're not very likable at all. Not even the cop was likable in this movie. The ending doesn't make sense. The dialogue was like I'm watching a romantic comedy. It looks like I wrote it. I wrote this, Looks like I just
Back
wrote
in 9th grade.
Yeah, like I was just getting it together. I was like, here, teacher, it's due.
I got to turn in my paper.
At the end of the day, this is a cheesy slasher 90s-esque movie. Maybe I can see this as being someone's guilty pleasure, like I said. It has some well-known faces of that era. So if you want to revisit the era of the hair gel and the spiky up in the front hair and all that stuff, if you pass this movie up, I think you'll be okay. I give it a 3 out of 13 donuts for Valentine 2001.
Very fair. Yeah. Very fair assessment.
Yeah. Just a bland movie.
Yeah, you can definitely cuddle up and watch something else much better that doesn't have the word Valentine in it. Maybe My Bloody Valentine is better. We don't know. I haven't watched it yet. It can't get much worse than this sucker.
This is pretty bad.
Yeah.
Why don't you say that we go ahead and spoil this thing?
Let's do it, man.
All right, here's the spoils. Junior high school St. Valentine's Day dance in 1988 San Francisco. Jeremy Melton, who is an outcast student, he asked 4 popular girls to dance. The first 3 girls, Shelley, Lily, and Paige, they reject him spitefully, cruelly, while the 4th girl, Kate, politely responds, maybe later. Their rich friend, Dorothy, accepts Jeremy's invitation, and they proceed to make out underneath the bleachers. Bullies show up, and they harass the couple, but Dorothy claims that Jeremy assaulted her. Jeremy's nose bleeds from the distress. Ooh.
Ouch.
Yeah.
I did not pick up that they said her rich friend, so they're already saying that she's rich. Now as a kid.
Yeah.
This kid looks like a young Dwight Schrute trying to get a dance.
Yeah. I was going to go I was going to go Jeffrey Dahmer, but Dwight Schrute will work too. That's interchangeable.
I mean, he had like a yellow shirt and glasses and
I was going to say a young Jeffrey Dahmer. Yeah, the glasses and everything. I would reject him too if I was any of them, but
hey, nicely. So we don't come back on you.
Yeah.
This movie is just really cliche, like all the way around. It's like they put in a bunch of cliches and like phrases and stuff, and they're like, what about this part of the movie? And they just picked them all out of a bag. Everything is just really predictable, almost,
Yeah. It's it seems very predictable. I didn't predict Dorothy saying yes and making out with him under the bleach. I mean, they were really getting after it too.
They were, man. They just met.
I mean, they were just, And
Is
then
that how stuff was in the 90s?
yeah, and
I
then
don't
and they
remember
were
that.
under the bleachers just making out. And then some, I mean, just some punk jerk kids just come up and they're like, they're jealous because they couldn't get none, and Dorothy was just, I mean, she was really into Jeremy. And I was like, good for Dorothy. But then she's like, she couldn't handle them making fun. And she goes, ew, no, he assaulted me. And she looks so serious. That actress looked, you assaulted me or something like that. And these
Yeah.
kids, they stripped all of his clothes off. He was down to his underwear, didn't they?
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember bullies doing that to me.
Man, that
They
was
don't
so
just like
cruel.
rape you almost. Like,
Man, that was
pretty
hard.
wild.
That was like, I was like, what is going on here?
I
Anyway,
wonder if those dudes who beat up Jeremy also got rejected in the same way by those girls, so they were mad.
yeah,
So they're gonna go take it out on somebody else.
yeah. Tell me about this nosebleed. That is like,
Well, don't worry. We'll hear about the nosebleed like every other freaking kill in this movie.
Why?
Like, I feel like maybe it was meant to be like, okay, well, yeah, you know who it is or whatever, but you already know
They're at
who
the
it is.
they're
You
at
don't
the
need to show
how
the
about
nosebleed
how
every
about
time.
they're in the end when it like goes, it just like it's a nosebleed and it hits her face. And he's just looking up. He's like looking up, like with the light shining in his eyes, with the blood just running down. Like,
Make sure you got the blood in the camera shot. Make sure you know that it's my nose bleeding and it was me the whole time.
oh my gosh! 13 years later, Shelley, who's now a medical student at UCLA, is at the morgue one evening studying for her medical exam. After receiving a threatening Valentine's card in her locker, Shelley discovers someone has taken the place of the cadaver and that she was dissecting. After being attacked by someone in a trench coat and a Cupid mask, Shelley is cornered in a cooler where she attempts to hide in a body bag. But the killer finds her before slitting her throat. The killer's nose bleeds as she dies. Ooh.
Oh, dang. So when I was going through the synopsis, I thought I deleted all those nosebleed things because it was like in every paragraph.
No, I want to say it. I want to say it every single time. You got Heigl, who is going. It shows her on a date. She's like on a blind date. And
with the dude talking about himself in the third person.
Yeah, he's like, Jason don't like that. I don't know if it was his name Jason or something like that. Jason don't like
Jake
that
or something. Yeah.
Jason don't like that. Jason does the and like Jason had like spinach on his teeth and whatever, but
yeah.
Anyway.
After I had to pause the movie from laughing so hard, but
it's so corny. I'm just sitting there watching. I was just like right. I was like, man, couldn't we have done Friday the 13th? Isn't there a Valentine Friday the 13th? Isn't there like a Nightmare on Elm Valentine Day video we could do? I'm just joking. But so then she's like, forget this. It was a bad date. I'm just going to go and hang out with some dead dudes, And then so she like goes to the cadaver and she's about to dissect him. She turns her back for some reason. No, she hears something in the distance. She goes out in the hallway to see what's going on.
Meets a dude who's leaving.
Oh yeah, he's like, what are you doing?
She thinks he left a note or something.
Yeah.
Because she's kind of looking. She got a Valentine's Day card in a locker, and
I do like the Valentine's Day
showed
cards.
Somebody getting a throat slit, right?
Yeah, I like those. I like the idea of the Valentine card. The very intricate.
Sure.
It was saying like what one said that you're going to be identified by your teeth and stuff like that. But I don't think anybody else got one. Like it happened twice, and did Denise Richards get one?
Yeah, you had. I think she got the same one with the chocolates and the maggots, but like. I don't know if that was he's like, hey, I'll just get them both at the same time with this one. I don't know.
Well, I think I like the card, and then you die right after. And it kind of it kind of speaks about how you're going to die. And then you have like this final destination, look forward to thing, but it wasn't consistent on that. It said you're going to have to be identified by your teeth. And then it goes a while before she gets killed,
Right.
Yeah, on the second.
And dude, I was thinking the whole time, and you said you were going to bring it up, but I'll talk about it with you. The whole time, dude is like laying there with his belly out, And it's a good thing he breathed when he did, because he was about to get like a scalpel to the gut,
Man.
right?
So yeah,
Like he's laying there.
the
He swapped
killer
out his body.
swapped the body out of the cadaver. He's just laying there, and she's about to like, like use the scalpel on
Yeah,
it. On
cut him open.
Oh, it just
dissect
cut him
Yeah.
right open, and then like he like breathes, and instead of just stabbing him, she goes, "Huh?" Oh my god, it was the dumbest thing ever. The cadaver falls out of like the freezer, right, or of a closet.
Yeah, as soon as she backs up,
Yeah.
it smacks into the door and opens it, and
That's
so
classic,
bad.
classic cheesy slasher. I mean, think about Sleepaway Camp when she falls out of the shower. That it randomly just falls out of the shower. Michael Myers
right
does
at
it.
the right time.
Halloween will do that too.
Yeah, but he at least has it to where you have to do something to trigger it.
I
You have
don't
to open the door for the body to swing.
Okay.
It doesn't just automatically fall into the door.
I like when
something.
I like when a body automatically falls into the door. Do you remember the one on like this is my last one, New Year's Evil, when she just comes down the slide?
That might be the worst one. That's where it all started.
Yeah, they're just
right
like
there.
looking around with a flashlight. She just randomly like comes down the slide. Like that was so
All the horror producers, like, they saw that and they're like, how can we make that better? But that's where it started.
I like that. I like that a lot. At Shelley's funeral, Kate, Lily, Paige, and Dorothy are questioned. They admit to not having seen her in some time after she moved from San Francisco to Los Angeles. Paige, Lily, Dorothy subsequently received threatening Valentine's cards, each signed J.M. Lily's card comes with a box of chocolates, which she finds are filled with maggots. Meanwhile, Dorothy's boyfriend, Campbell, loses his apartment and temporarily moves in with her at her father's large mansion. This, doesn't this sound like I wrote this in 9th grade?
Yeah, it really does. Like, you had to write a story for English class,
And then the chocolate
you procrastinated until like the last minute. Like, it's like Tuesday and that paper's due on Thursday. You're like, Chris, help me write this, dude.
The
We
chocolate,
gotta get it done.
and then the chocolates were full of maggots. And then her boyfriend came, and she had a mansion which they lived at because she was rich.
That does sound like
Did I write this? Anyway,
all right. Let me throw this movie another positive here.
let's hear it.
They did do a pretty good job of casting adults who looked like the kids, I thought.
Yes.
Like Dorothy kind of looks like Dorothy as an adult. So you could kind
Absolutely.
of you could say, hey, that was Dorothy, or hey, that was Paige, or hey,
You are right. They
you could
matched.
really
They matched
kinda
up very
tell.
well. Yeah, they did match those up very well.
And maybe they picked the kids after the adults or something, but
Yeah.
I thought they did a pretty good job there. And they also don't say this here, but they introduce, Kate's girlfriend, on again, off again, alcoholic Adam,
Yeah.
played by David Boreanaz.
At the funeral, at the graveside funeral, you meet a couple different
Mm-hmm.
characters. You meet Boreanaz, who is a recovering alcoholic. She's like, hey, he's always wanting her back, but she's like, are you you off the bottle? He's like 3 weeks. And then she finds like a bottle of tequila in his car. And he's like, hey, that's a present for some dude writing an article, which has nothing to do with this movie whatsoever. But then we also meet the detective, who is not a good actor and just a horrible human being.
Tony,
What?
I liked the detective. I was gonna get to it later, man. I thought the detective was okay. Not the stupid, creepy angle where he's hitting on Paige later, but I thought this first scene, he was pretty strong. He was just like a no-nonsense detective.
No.
You hated him.
It was awful.
He threatened you, but why go after Shelley? Why are you friends?
I don't know, but he is.
You don't know that.
I hated
That's
everything.
why I gave it a
I
3.
hated everything about this funeral. This funeral was not sad. Nobody even cried. They were just like, "What? This is just moving the plot along." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like totally killer. Like when her mom died, and we're just like, "Yeah, there's no funeral. Thank God." Yeah, I'm just thinking about the funeral. Is not like. If anything, you have to put it in a montage or something, with I don't know.
like Tommy Boy or something.
Yes. Where and then he ends up in the boat on yes, Chris. Tommy Boy did
Yeah.
it right. You
Yeah,
got to
it really
move it
did.
along. But
Yeah, you're sad, but then like the next scene you're laughing at something.
Yes,
So
because
yeah.
you don't know how much time has passed from that to the boat. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Indeed, man.
Anyway, so yeah, the detective's like, hey, we're looking around, and they talk, anyway, they're looking around. They all get these cards. The girls attend the exhibit of Lily's artist boyfriend, Max. They meet Campbell's bitter ex-girlfriend, Ruthie, who accuses him of being a con artist. Lily becomes lost at the exhibit, and the killer appears, who proceeds to shoot her repeatedly with arrows until she falls several floors into a dumpster. When they have not heard from Lily, the others assume that she is in Los Angeles on a work trip.
Yeah. When I don't hear from you guys for more than a week, I just assume that you're on a work trip, and I don't check in with anybody. But I do like how the guy at the art exhibit, like the creepy dude, he like tried to pull a threesome. I think he was close. He just needed a little bit more riz.
You think, yeah,
as my kid would say.
Yeah. He tried to do it at step 2 when he really should have probably should have waited till step 3.
Yeah, he should have got a little further with the one.
Yeah.
And then when the other one shows up, you're like, hey, don't worry about it, man. We're just having fun.
So Lily
in
in the middle of this exhibit is just making out with him. She's like really pumped. Her artist boyfriend, who basically like he like just looked at Denise Richards' character, like when she's like, who's just like, he looked her from top. I mean, he was creepy from the get go, and but Lily's over there making out with it, and then all of a sudden this girl just shows up, and she's like, hey, what's up? It's so cheesy, y'all. I don't understand. Like I was rolling my eyes the entire. She's coming, and she's like, "Who is that?" And he's like, "I thought that she could like join us in the middle of this art exhibit where it's like full of people. What are you talking about, dude?
There's like hundreds of people there.
They're everywhere. This is in the middle of like, you know what I mean? Like, who does this?
Yeah. All right, real quick. Did you watch this with the wife?
I did not. I just watched it by myself.
I thought it could have been a good date night movie for you guys, man. That's why I was trying to.
This movie's awful.
I was trying to rekindle the passion.
No. This would rekindle nothing. This would like she'd be like, "Why are we watching this?" That's what she'd be
like.
say.
This is why I don't watch this crap with you, Tony.
So I do like Cupid shows up and shoots her with an arrow one time, and then shoots her with another 2 times, and then you get the blood running from the nose, and then he shoots her a 3rd time, probably in the face. Really can't tell, and then she falls into a dumpster. The dumpster closes, and that's why they can't find her, because she's at the landfill.
Yeah. I mean, that's really the best way to cover it up is you just make her fall into a dumpster that's at the bottom of a stairwell. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Why was there a dumpster at the bottom of this well that it looked like it was in a courtyard? I don't know. This movie's stupid.
Yeah. It's so everybody can come out of their doorway and just throw their trash over in it.
Oh, that's smart then.
It was dumb. It is a dumb movie. Upon contacting the police, they agreed that the culprit is probably Jeremy Melton. The police disclosed Jeremy's parents were engulfed in a house fire, and Kate finds all information about Jeremy's old persona. It's erased. Dorothy admits to Kate and Paige that she lied about Jeremy to avoid embarrassment. Meanwhile, Kate's neighbor Gary breaks into her apartment to steal her underwear. The killer catches Gary in the act, hits him with a hot iron, then proceeds to brutally beat him to death with the object.
Man. Yeah, that's what they called him, Scary Gary or something, his neighbor. Like they were talking about his neighbor. They're like, oh, Scary Gary, he's a creep.
Yeah, so Kate's taking a shower, and all of a sudden the water doesn't work, so she has to just shampoo her hair. She has to wash her hair out in the toilet, and then
I asked my wife if she's ever had to do that, and she said no, and that she never would.
You would never wash your head in the toilet?
Are you sure? There's no water. You got to do something.
Got to do something. You got shampoo all in your hair. I'd call in sick is what I would do. I don't have any water. I don't know what to do. She goes out into the hallway. No, her door is open. She's like, why is my door open? So I'm going to go investigate. She's wearing a towel, and she goes out there. And then Scary Gary's out there. And Scary Gary's like, he only talks in rhyme.
Yeah,
this movie's awful, y'all. He goes, hey.
This is where I was checking my phone.
He goes, hey, Kate, can I get a date? Am I not too late? we could maybe meet. Like, it was awful. I was just like, I was like, yeah, like it literally. Did I write this? Did I write that? And then she goes back. Whatever. He ends up later in the movie. He's broken to her apartment and he's trying on her underwear. He's got her underwear on his head. He's like got her pantyhose on, and the killer's like, ew, gross. And the killer hits him with a iron. Why is the iron on?
That's a great question.
Anyway,
I don't know.
The iron's on, so he the killer just hits him with the iron, and then like presses it up to Gary's face, which is really like, you hate everybody in this film. They all suck. They're all horrible people. They were mean to Jeremy. So like, you really enjoy everybody dying in this. You're just like, good. Like Cupid Cherub is like actually doing everybody a favor.
Doing God's work.
Yeah, doing God's work. Yeah, doing this thing.
But this movie really just eliminated all of the suspense of who it was with the nosebleed thing. Like, it's Jeremy. We know it's the kid from the. So like the scenes of them trying to figure out who it was and
who could it be?
Who it could be. I mean, you're like, it's Jeremy. I mean, you don't know what adult Jeremy looks like, but you know who it was.
Well,
you're just waiting on this reveal.
We kind of know what he looks like because the detective puts up a computer graphic of an aged Jeremy Melton, and then he even goes, but there's a possibility that he had plastic surgery and could look like somebody else.
Come on, dude! Don't knock the best actor in this thing.
The plastic surgery could totally change the way that he looks, and he could look like somebody totally different. We wouldn't even know.
No, that sounds like Ronnie from.
I know, but you get where I'm at. So like they all leave, and the detective is like, "I need to talk to you." Talking to Denise Richards, he goes, "I need to talk. I need to talk to you for a minute." And then he shuts the door to his office. The detective, he's like the hero of this movie. You're just like, he's there to help. Yeah. He's the one on the trail. He's going to save everybody. And he looks across to Denise Richards and he goes, "So what are we going to do about this?" And she was like, what are you talking about? He's like, this sexual tension that we got between us. And he put his hand on her thigh. And she's like, "Get your hand off my thigh." I'm like, I whatever. And I was just like, why is this in this movie?
Yeah.
Like, why?
Honestly, like I did like the detective character, but this scene just, I was like, okay, this is stupid. Like, they made him stupid. They made him stupid with the futuristic little pictures and crap. I'm like, how y'all made him so dumb?
Look at this graphic here. This is what he could look like.
There's a lot of lines that I'm going to try on the wife.
Yes,
that's probably one of them. Like, hey, what are we going to do about this thing? Just see where it goes. I would love that. I would like,
hey, I'm going to do that. I'm going to go. Lauren. Look, what are we going to do about this?
What are we going to do about that? It's just as soon as if she smiles at me or anything, I'm just like, what are we going to do about this?
She do
about what?
She goes, dinner's ready. It was like, so what are we gonna do about this? What are we gonna do about this?
She laughs at a joke she saw on TV, looks at you smiling, and you're like, so what are we gonna do about this?
So what are we gonna do about this?
Hey, there's another one later.
I like that
with Denise and the guy upstairs, right? Like, she takes the one dude upstairs.
Yes.
And he like takes off his clothes. He like looking at her. He's like, "What are you waiting for, honey? Wax it." And I looked over at Jessica and I was like, "Will that line ever work?" And she's like, "No, it will never work."
I forgot about that.
What are you waiting for, honey? Wax it.
Man.
That is the funniest part of this movie.
So what that was hilarious. He did. He
dropped
dropped his pants. Like, "What are you waiting on, honey? Wax it."
So bold. You just got to have the confidence. What do they say? Treat her like dirt and she'll stick to you like mud.
Yes. And like Denise Richards read this script. She goes, "Yeah, I think this is right up my alley. Thank you.
Of course I'll play Debbie."
Of course. This is a great character. This is right. This is in my wheelhouse.
Typecast.
I love being treated like crap by men. This is amazing. Dorothy is planning a party at her family's estate. I'm going to be honest. I didn't know that this was her house. It took me a minute. Like I was just like, where's this damn party? Oh, it's at her house. Like there's like rooms and stuff. I was like, oh, we're at the mansion. And maybe like I might have been on my phone or something at this point. It was really hard. I was just sitting there. I was just like, oh, we're at her house. Cool. Okay.
Oh, this movie's like an hour and 40 minutes or whatever it was.
On the morning of the party, the killer murders Campbell with an axe in the basement. Campbell is like a side character. We haven't talked about him much because he doesn't really matter, to be honest with you. The rich girl has a boyfriend who comes, and he's like a swindler, and he's like a side plot character, and he gives her a cherub necklace, but he's also a swindler, and he swindled this other girl, and this other girl's like, when are you going to wake up and find out that, you know, he's just a piece of crap? And he really was. He was just kind of using it and staying there. So he gets axed down in the basement, which of course he needed to. But he also served as a whodunit. Like he could have been Jeremy, right?
Yeah. I was about to say that. I really think this movie tried to do, and I think that's the only reason this character's in this movie is just an extra. Oh, it could have been him. Oh, kind of like the broccoli teeth guy.
Yeah.
You know, he shows up later at the art exhibit or some crap.
Is that him?
And it's like, oh yeah, no, it's a different guy.
Oh, I got you.
But like they made like the broccoli teeth guy later on. He's in the scene for like 2 minutes, and then he gives like an evil look to the girls.
I didn't think for a second it was that guy.
No, the only thing that doesn't work is the build of who it actually is. It looks nothing like the guy who's going around stabbing people.
Yeah.
Like he looks like skinny as heck, and who it turns out to be is not very skinny.
Well, I guess we're gonna I guess we're going to read it and find out. I mean, how do you know I finished it? I want to find out with you. So he gets axed down in the basement. Let's see. The others assume that he simply left Dorothy, angering her, to which Dorothy believes that they are all jealous. After coming to the party to confront Dorothy with the truth about Campbell, Ruthie is thrown through a shower window by the killer, who then impales her neck on the glass. This is the girl that was trying to warn Dorothy about the piece of crap. She was coming. She goes, "I'm gonna tell him about that." You know, she's trying to warn Dorothy. Say he's a loser. He's just gonna try to swindle you out of it. Like that's my necklace that you're wearing. He gave that to me at one point, and he stole it back, and all this stuff. Just whatever. And that's probably my favorite kill. Is there's this like jaded shower. He throws her through the shower, and there's glass like hanging up, like sharp glass, and he just takes her and just shoves her head right into that glass. I thought that was crazy.
Yeah. I was really confused after that kill. So the killer is like dragging that body out of the shower, right? And it looks like it's like daytime and there's nobody else there. It's like a house full of people. But I was really confused by it. It just looked like it was like a different time of the day. Like I thought it was the next day. And like Paige ran into the killer downstairs.
That was the maid. That was the
something.
Maid being dragged out.
Or yeah, sure. Either way, though, I was just I couldn't keep up with what time it was. I thought it was the next day after the party.
I see what you're saying. Paige, Denise Richards she's trapped in a hot tub by the killer. She goes to the hot tub. Denise Richards, I mean, you know, she's got to get in her bathing suit. She's got to get in the hot tub. You know what I mean? And then the killer puts this like clear plastic cover that goes on the hot, you know, so you can see it. I've never seen one in my entire life, but in this movie they had one,
hot tub cover,
see through, and then he just starts drilling down into the cover, and he finally gets her like in the shoulder, like wing me in the shoulder, and then he's like, forget this, I'm not gonna chase her around. He just throws the drill into the hot tub and just electrocutes Dorothy right there. What do you think about that?
Yeah. I wish the drill had made more contact. I thought it would have been a cooler kill than the electrocution, but wasn't she the one as a kid who said, "Ooh, I'd rather be boiled alive" or something? Why didn't he just trap her in there, turn the water up a la Halloween 2, and just boil her alive?
I was thinking the same thing. When I watched the beginning of this and that was said, I was like, well, you're going to be boiled alive. Again, and I was thinking Halloween 2, hot tub, nurse, she got it. That was one
I
of
would have been okay with that too.
when I was a kid and I saw
fine.
that, man, and the skin oh. I remember being like, oh my God, this is
Pretty gnarly.
That was one of the things I couldn't like forget. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, have you ever seen like parts in a movie you're just like, man, I can't forget. I could not forget girl getting boiled alive in a hot tub at a hospital.
Yeah.
Like I was just like
Pretty brutal.
I was like, I don't want my skin to come off like that. I got to be careful. The party disintegrates when the power cuts out. The power cuts out because she gets electrocuted in the old hot tub.
Yeah.
So the breakers tend to, Dorothy and Kate, they argue over who the killer is. Kate claims that Campbell could be a suspect because they do not know anything about him or where he is, while Dorothy counters by accusing Adam, Kate's recovering alcoholic on-off boyfriend, who is a journalist.
This is the first time they've mentioned him in this whole frickin' synopsis.
After being told, or what was your fact that he did his whole thing in this movie? He filmed it in what,
2 weeks?
2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks he was done filming. He's
like,
off doing Bones or something.
He goes, I got 2 weeks for you. You got to get it done.
He's like Loomis in Halloween.
Yeah. Didn't Loomis do that too? Yeah, because they didn't have the budget for it.
Real quick.
Don't you ever compare him to Loomis, Dr. Loomis in Halloween. You hear me? Don't you ever.
I'm sorry. I was going to compare the detective that I love so much to Loomis, but I don't know if you'd like that one either.
Don't you ever. After being told by Max and Lily that did not arrive in Los Angeles as planned, Kate believes that she is probably dead also. Calls the detective Vaughn, who is assigned to the case. Man.
Yeah, I think it's time to call the real cops and not just the creepy detective Vaughn.
Yeah.
Man, whatever. This movie is awful, Tony. I'm really sorry I picked it. Hopefully the next few choices. I hope you let me pick again.
What's crazy is there's people out there who love this film.
Well, hopefully they'll listen.
There's people out there who love this movie, and they're going to be like, "How dare you?" You know?
Oh, they're not going to watch any more of the podcast after they see this one. They're going to say, "Oh, they're just hating on my favorite movie."
Why do they hate on Valentine's? Is it
It's
Valentine?
a classic.
What is it called? Valentine?
It's just called Valentine, singular.
Damn it.
2001.
What a horrible name. Even the name sucks. Anyway.
Did you see the trailer? Is like she's like picking daisies in a field.
No, I didn't watch
she's
the trailer.
like plucking the thing. Well, and I didn't see it till after the movie, but it's like it's not even any one of the characters. It's like some random chick laying down in the field picking flowers apart.
Yeah, it's bad. After dialing the number, she follows the sound of the ringtone outside the house. She discovers that Detective Vaughn's severed head is in the pond, Chris. It's in the pond. That prop was awful. It looked like I made it. I wrote this movie and I made that head. That head looked awful. Kate becomes convinced that Adam is Jeremy, now unrecognizable after facial surgery. She goes back into the house only to find Adam is waiting for her to surprise her. He asks her to dance. Ooh. Is that not a dead giveaway? I mean, come on. Kate becomes frightened. She flees. She runs to the house, discovering Dorothy's room trashed and Paige and Ruthie's corpses. She locates a gun, but the Cupid mask killer jumps out from the darkness and sends them both tumbling down the staircase. The killer arises and shot to death by Adam. It didn't mention the fact that when she was dancing with him, she kneed him right in the testes.
Mm-hmm.
Like a good one. And then she ran upstairs. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. And instead of running outside, this is clear 90s horror, even though it's in 2001. I'm asking her to dance, like you said, dead giveaway.
Yeah.
Like it's just okay. But then
Chris,
I was telling Jessica,
we just found out that it wasn't him. So what are you talking about?
Yeah, no, that's true.
You just said Jessica, dead giveaway. Yeah, I mean, he just shot the Cupid killer to death. We just read that. What are you talking about right now? I don't even.
You're going to have to explain it to me after this.
No, I want you to explain it to me. I've I watched a video that said Valentine ending explained, and it didn't even explain it.
Oh, you watched Found Flicks?
Probably.
It?
It just showed the film, and I was just like, I just showed the synopsis of the film, and I was like, no, I need the ending explained to me, and they just didn't do it.
Found Flicks usually does a pretty good job, but I guess I'll have to go watch it too because I still need answers if you don't have them.
All right. As a shocked and confused Kate apologizes profusely to Adam, Adam pulls off the killer's mask to reveal it was Dorothy the entire time. Man. So, like, Dorothy and Kate, they had a big fight before all of this happened. And Dorothy kind of reveals to her, she goes, I used to be fat. I used to be really freaking fat and disgusting, you know, which, by the way, I didn't think she was a fat little girl. I thought she looked good. You know, she's a cute little girl.
Sure. I mean, yeah, she wasn't.
I didn't see her as like being
as
like
skinny as the other ones.
Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, so she made a big deal. She's like, it's like, and now that I'm not fat, and now that I got a man, you're jealous.
Y'all are jealous.
You're all jealous. Y'all are all mean to me. And like, she like went up and she was brought up all this crap, and it was just like, what is going on with you? She was like, she acted really weird.
Yeah, it's not like a woman to bring up stuff from the past.
Yeah, women typically don't do that. So that's what it tipped me off.
That threw you off a little bit.
Yeah, that something's wrong. Anyway, so Adam forgives Kate, explaining childhood trauma can lead to a lifelong anger, and that some people are eventually forced to act on that anger, referring to Dorothy. As Kate and Adam wait for the police to arrive, they hug, and Adam says he's always loved her. Moments later, when Kate closes her eyes, Adam's nose bleed, revealing that he's Jeremy Melton, the actual killer, having knocked out Dorothy and put her in the costume. Is that what this is saying?
Dude, I don't know.
Who set everything up running. Set up everything to ruin Dorothy's reputation and exact revenge. He killed the girls correspondingly to the words they offended him 13 years ago, except for Kate, who was the only one who was nice to him from the beginning. That doesn't make sense. Like that, I didn't get that from that. I saw that Dorothy, is that her name, Dorothy? Dorothy jumped out
and was running towards
Kate.
Adam and Kate. Yeah. And then he shot her. And then why didn't she just take the mask off and say, hey, he's setting me up?
Yeah.
And then end it like that. But so stupid.
Yeah.
You could also see the nosebleed from a mile away, obviously. I mean, when they're sitting there hugging. All right, so here's my better ending.
Let's hear it. Seriously, I do want to hear it.
So, at the dance in the beginning, you can see that Cupid mask, right?
Yes.
You see that. Have the murderer be a random friend of Jeremy who's like, yeah, y'all bullied my friend Jeremy. Ooh. He killed himself years ago, and I'm taking my revenge. I'm actually so-and-so.
Ooh. And make it like a big whodunit.
Yeah, like a big, and get rid of the nosebleed crap. That's just, it's cheap cliche late 90s crap, I guess. I don't know, man.
This film, other than the ending, it needs an ending. It needs a complete overhaul. Sorry. I mean, it's just like, I like the dialogue, the storyline. It's very just cheesy bad. I don't know. But then again, it cost him $10 million. It probably made a profit. You know what I mean? It's probably all that they were trying to do back then. I have no idea.
I mean,
they definitely
just got a little bit more money because I had to rent it.
I did too. You got my
the director's like gets a check in the mail for 13 cents. And he's like, oh, somebody rented it twice.
Somebody
what the heck?
Honey, look at this. 2 people rented it in February. What was that?
Weird.
Yeah, what is that? People are still renting this film? I did it as a joke. Like it was a joke.
Yeah, it's a joke.
And people are still
like, what
watching.
Are you waiting on, honey? Wax it.
Wax that.
Hey, we got some good stuff on deck though, man, coming up.
Yes. What next one's what? Nightmare on Elm Street?
Yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street,
yes!
the OG. right?
Freddy, OG. I can't wait for that, man. It's gonna be good. I can't wait to see what you think about Freddy.
Yeah, it's been a minute since I've seen that. And you said Johnny Depp.
Johnny
was in that
Depp's
one?
in there. He gets killed pretty quick. Yeah.
Nice. Well, thanks for that.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. I just ruined that.